Well, good morning, everybody. This is DearMamaSal on a drizzle would be the word for what I've got in front of me at the moment. A drizzly Monday morning. It's 9 degrees here in southern British Columbia in Canada, and that would make it about 48, I think, in American. So, a pleasant day. No snow. And I really must say that when I was doing the broadcast this weekend, I felt quite sorry for some of my viewers because they were still in snow and I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. But again, that's why I live on the West Coast. We had a beautiful weekend. I don't know about you guys, but we really had a beautiful weekend. And as I normally do on a Monday, I'd like to do a bit of a weekend wrap-up because life goes by so quickly. When I say that, I realize that it just doesn't seem like a week ago that we did the last weekend update. And one of the things I don't want to forget is some of the good things that happened over the weekend. I've put up quite a bit of footage and I still have another vlog to put up about the experiment between Coke and vinegar on my chains and the chains that connect my trailer to my Jeep, the stabilizer chains. I took them out yesterday, so I will hopefully be able to take some footage of them tonight to show you the difference, if any. I'm really not sure whether there will be any difference, but we will see. So Friday was an interesting day. We had fun with the broadcast as usual, and really must say that we've got some new viewers that are sort of obviously going to be fairly regular viewers, and we love that. What we found with the broadcast is that we have what I call a core group, and then viewers come and go as they need to, but it's really nice when we get some new ones that are obviously pretty regular ones, because we get to know them and we get to understand a little bit more about them. And one of them is Lauren from Tasmania. And I said I think she's my only known viewer from Tasmania. I'm not saying I haven't got others, but it's the only one I know of. So, Lauren, thank you so much. I know you've really done a good job of being in a lot of broadcasts, which with that time zone difference must be challenging. So thank you for that. And also the other one I'd like to give credit to is Sakura, who comes into the broadcast from the Philippines. You know, they both bring a lot of character and depth to the broadcast, you know, and humor. And along with that, you know, people like Emma and you know, you guys just have done a great job of coming in and fitting in and going with the flow, which is really what it's all about. If you can go with the flow, it makes for a really easy transition into the broadcast. Somebody asked me a question this weekend. Can't remember who it was, but it was but it made me laugh. They said, how did I learn to use the webcam? And I really didn't mean to sound facetious about it when I answered or you know, rude in any way. But I said the honest truth, which is I turned it on. Because, you know, really, the only way you learn to use a webcam is to start using it. And perhaps for those of you who might be considering doing it, one of the things to do is to actually start recording videos but don't necessarily put them up. just get into the habit of turning it on and talking to yourself. I keep thinking about what a great job Paul did when he decided he was going to start doing some videos. And you know, there are a number of other viewers that have started their own channels, and you know, really you just have to turn the thing on and start doing what you want to do, if that's what you want to do. So there is no smart way. The challenge, of course, is the editing and uploading, and that's a whole nother story. And if you can get that mastered, then you're pretty, yeah, I think life is a lot easier. Once you've got all those things done, then you're sort of on your way. Now it's just work hard, and it's a matter of time. I must say that I give a lot of thanks to a number of viewers who, as I said, I think in one of the weekend broadcasts, who helped me convince one of our viewers to get to a hospital. You know, it's really strange that as an outsider you can hear a series of symptoms and you're not a doctor, but you know enough about life to know that that doesn't add up right. And we managed to convince a viewer to go to the hospital, and just as well that he did. So I am very, very grateful to everybody who supported that, including Farmer in Australia. Thank you so much, because it really did take all of us, I think, saying the same thing to convince that viewer that maybe they did need to go and get checked out. Now, in terms of achievement this weekend, I normally try and report on things that I've done where I achieved something over and above my normal routine. And obviously Saturday, some of you will have seen the vlog where Dougie came over and he helped me clean up my deck, which was awesome. And we got that done in no time at all. I mean, literally took us about an hour, which was just what I needed. The other thing that I achieved was I have, as we probably all do, one of those catch-all drawers in the kitchen. They are really ripping up the road today. Wow. Anyway, one of those catch-all drawers in the kitchen, and what I did, because I'm learning now this is the only way to do it, is I just took absolutely everything out of the drawer, and then the trick is only put back what needs to go in there. Now, there was so much crud in that drawer that I actually didn't vlog that, because I didn't know I was going to do it. I just instinctively did it. But the interesting thing was I've probably put back everything that needs to go back. You know, there is about probably a third of what was in there before. And that was pretty surprising to me. I knew there was a lot of garbage in there, but I think it's what you could hold on to. And apparently I am a real collector of bag ties, you know, those strips that you tie up bags with. Really like collecting those. And the bread top of the bread connector things, what do you call those things? The plastic little doodads that you put on a loaf of, on the plastic that goes over a loaf of bread. I know there's a word for them. I don't know what it is, but there must be a word for them. Somebody will know what it is. You know, you twiddle the plastic and then you put this, yeah. Anyway, whatever that thing is called, I've got a lot of those that I don't need. Probably a collection of 20 years, I would think. So they've gone already, I think, most of those. And I've kept a small amount of bag ties, because you and I both know as soon as I throw them all away, I'll need them. Old pencils and pens, quite a few of those were in there. They're generally quite interesting stuff. Now, I'm going to sort out the rest during the week. I'm going to challenge myself every time I'm sort of in the kitchen cooking or whatever, just to throw a couple more bits away, because that way I will get through it all by the weekend. And I know it's probably all garbage, but I don't want to actually throw it until I've been through everything, because with my luck it'll be the one thing that I need that I will have thrown away. So that was actually quite a bit of achievement. I'm trying to think what else I did. Yep, I did pull my one cupboard under my bathroom sink apart again, because I foolishly found out that I had put toilet paper right at the bottom, which fitted beautifully, but was absolutely useless when you were in need of toilet paper. You had to grovel on the floor to get to it. So I don't want to be doing that every time I need toilet paper. It looked so good when I did it, didn't it? Right. So that, and the chains, of course, when we get those finished, that will be a big achievement. But that takes another weekend, because I've got to let them dry properly, and then I need to spray paint them. I really do like having a Saturday where I can do stuff that needs to be done for me, if you know what I mean, as opposed to concentrating on the vlogs or uploading or editing or doing that sort of thing. It's really nice when I can just go, okay, fine, this day is for me. And if I want to vlog stuff, as I did this Saturday, that's fine. But my primary is looking after me on a Saturday. Oh, and I got a haircut, obviously. Yeah, it was quite a busy day Saturday, which was probably why yesterday was pretty laid back. I certainly didn't do a lot yesterday. What did I achieve, though? I must admit that I was very aware of taking it sort of easy yesterday, but also I was aware of pacing myself to keep moving forward on stuff. So I slept in late, which was fun. And then I had an easy day. I'd get up, I'd do something, and then I'd go back and just relax, and then I'd go and do something and come back and relax. I got the wash done, that was good. And then something really strange happened for me, which is I went to sleep. I probably had the best night's sleep I have had in a long time. I mean, deep. So I was really quite surprised about that. I heard the alarm this morning and I went, really? I didn't wake up at 3, which I normally do. Sort of 2:30, 3 o'clock, whatever it was. Anyway, I really had a good night's sleep, so that was awesome. I thought I'd just quickly touch on one of the questions. When we do the broadcast at the weekend, I try to come up with a question that I think will get people talking a bit about stuff and also help them understand each other better and so forth. And the question that I asked this weekend is, is there any benefit to feeling guilty? And it was interesting because we really had two different schools of thought. There was one school of thought who said, yes, because if you genuinely felt guilty, then you probably wouldn't repeat that behavior again. And that was interesting. And I guess that goes to, for example, in a court case where they sort of talk about, the defendant showed no remorse. He didn't look like he was sorry for anything he had done. So there was no feeling of guilt about it. So yes, and we could see that perspective. And there was the other side of it, which was, really feeling guilty doesn't make it better. And so looking at from the one side, was, yes, there was some benefit, but if you looked at it from the other side, and I think I'm going to call that the victim side, if you've done something to somebody else, let's call the other person the victim of whatever it was that you did that made them feel guilty. What we all agreed on was, don't tell me you're sorry, or rather, don't just tell me you're sorry, show me you're sorry. And I gave the example, although it was extreme, of people who batter their wives, for example, and how many times do they apologize? Oh, I'm so sorry, and then they go and buy flowers or a diamond necklace or something, you know what I mean, just to sort of buy back the love, unquote. And what I said was, even if you want to tell me that you are sorry, then check yourself into an anger management course and stay on it. Don't do it for a week or two. Stay on it, because you obviously have an anger management problem. Or get therapy, or because that tells me that you know that the behavior was wrong. And we had quite a discussion about those sort of things and the different things people do end up feeling guilty about. So I'd like you to give some thought to that. Be aware this week of what things you feel guilty about, and whether you actually have the courage to apologize, or do you do the behaviors to change the behavior. I'm amazed actually how many times the viewers will write to me and say, they did something to upset one of the other viewers and they'd like to apologize, and I'm going, you're apologizing to the wrong person. The person you need to apologize to is the person you have upset. Or been rude to, or misunderstood, or whatever. And just be truthful. Tell them, you didn't mean to do that, and you apologize. So have a look at your day as you go along, or your week, or this month even, and just see how many times and that was the other thing we talked about. I wonder how many of you relate to that. How many times you say I'm sorry when maybe it isn't even necessary. We're laughing a lot because it is definitely a Canadian thing, particularly. And all the Canadians agreed on that. The Canadians apologize a great deal for stuff. They breathe. Oh, I'm sorry. But when I talked about it a bit more, I really did have to say, and it's my experience, that most Canadians say I'm sorry out of a respect thing. They don't finish the sentence, I'm sorry I cut ahead of you. Or I'm sorry I should have said excuse me. So very much when I listen to Canadians, and I am one, when I listen to Canadians apologize a lot out of politeness. And one of the things I love about Canadians is they are a fairly polite society, even in this day and age. But it was amusing to us, and I would like you all to keep track of that. How many times do you say, I'm sorry? Just because. And it's cute. If any of you got any fun stories about this, let me know. The other thing is, if any of you have any stories about where either you felt guilty about something and what you did to apologize for it, or if somebody did something wrong to you and they apologized to you in a way that was meaningful, as opposed to just, oh, I'm sorry I did X, Y, and Z. Now, I always reward good behavior. If anybody has the courage to apologize to me for bad behavior, I will normally accept the apology. No, I think I always accept the apology. I don't think I normally do. I don't have to forgive them, but I do accept the apology. Now, I realize that forgiveness is a whole nother story. And I find it very difficult to explain to people that to forgive somebody is easy, or to accept their apology is easy. To forgive them might be a different story. Because to do that, you have to let it go. And some of us are not as good at doing that. As I said, it's a whole nother story. What a day. Anyway, great weekend. Hope you all had a good weekend as well, and I hope that you concentrated on the good things rather than the bad things. Because we all have bad things going on in our lives. But what makes us happy is when we concentrate on gratitude for the things that are going right. I personally am very happy every morning when I wake up. That's a good way to start my day. Have a great week, everybody, and look after one another, but most of all, remember to look after yourselves. Bye-bye for now.